Mr. Graham, homework help. Time for homework help. Let's start. Here we go. You should be on page 80 and 81, please. Here's a model problem. Let's take a look at it. Tulio's plant was 40 inches tall in May. In June, it grew 3 inches. In July, it grew 2 times as much as it grew in June. Now, even as an adult, like if I just read all of that fast and just try to think about it all at the same time, I'm going, huh? But it's better, it's way better to think about it one piece at a time, one step at a time. One step at a time, there's no need to rush. So watch, write an equation to find how tall Tulio's plant is now, using P to represent the unknown quantity. What? What? There's so much stuff here, okay? So just watch. Let me connect it for you, okay? Here's the equation right here. P equals, that's what they're talking about right here. P equals the unknown quantity. Unknown means you don't know it, and quantity means a number, okay? So P is the missing number, or in other words, it's the answer. So do not freak out when a math question says it equals a letter. They just want you to know that this is unknown. That P is the same thing as a blank, okay? If it was blank, it wouldn't freak you out, would it? So this P shouldn't either. Okay, so let's move on. When you're making an equation, I recommend doing it one step at a time. So it was 40 inches tall, and look, they wrote a 40. In June, it grew 3 inches. It grew. That means it got bigger, so plus 3. In July, it grew 2 times as much as it grew in June. That's a hard part. So it grew 2 times as much as it grew in June. So what did it grow in June? It grew 3. But in July, it grew 2 times as much as that. So you can't just write 2. You have to write 2 times 3. And then that goes into parentheses, because when you have multiplication hanging out, you've got to do the multiplication first. Okay? And here's a picture of the equation. You have that big 40, then you have that little itty bitty bit of 3, and then you have 2 3s, or in other words, 2 times 3. If you add that all up, you shouldn't be surprised that P actually equals 49. But here's the thing. If you didn't write this, if you only wrote 49 because you think you're a genius and like you did it all in your head, that's actually bad. You know why? Because they told you to write an equation. And if they tell you to do that, you have to. Okay? You have to write an equation if they say so. So now that we've looked at that, let's solve some problems that don't have the answers in them. Here we go. Olivia drove 170 miles. If I were you, I would underline every piece that has a number or something in it, okay? Each way, there and back, to visit her cousin. On the trip, Olivia drove an extra 20 miles to see the Grand Canyon. She also drove an extra 45 miles to see Lake Powell. Write an equation to represent the total number of miles, M, Olivia drove on her trip. So the answer is going to be for M, miles. So start with the M and the equal sign. Okay? Now what do we put? We'll look at the numbers that we are talking about here. Olivia drove 170 miles, okay? No problem. She drove 170 each way, there and back. Does that mean total, or does that mean 170 miles each way? 170 miles there and 170 miles back. So Okay, so look, wait. I don't think this is 170 all by itself. Because think about it. She lives here, and her cousin lives there, and then it's 170 there, whoop, and then it's 170 back, whoop, like when she goes back home. So this isn't just a 170, is it? It's two 170s. So it's 170 times 2. And then go ahead and put that in parentheses. Why? Because it's multiplication, and you do multiplication first. That's something we should learn, okay? All right. So Olivia drove an extra 20 miles. Okay, so just extra 20 means plus 20. She also drove an extra 45 miles. And we're done. What? We don't have to do all this stuff? Not really, because it never says to. It never says to solve. Never says to tell what m is. It only says to write an equation, and we wrote an equation, and now we're done. So write an equation is not so bad. It's just like being a detective, where you have to figure out what each piece means. Okay. All right, let's move on. We have a couple more just like this. Lucy bought 2 sandwiches for $4 each. Okay, you know what? Let's start the equation early. Let's start the equation right away. 2 sandwiches for 4 each. Does that each speak to you? Does that tell you something? Hopefully it tells you multiplication. And 1 small salad for $3. Oh, Mr. Graham forgot something. He has multiplication, but you know what? He has to go ahead and put in parentheses. And 1 small salad for $3. So go ahead and do plus 3. She handed the clerk $20. Write an equation to show the amount Lucy's food cost. We did that already. That's this right here. So 2 times 4 plus 3 is going to equal how much the food cost. And I put an F for that. F for food. That's only part 1. Then write an equation to show the amount of change Lucy will get. So change, you know what change is. It's like when you pay for something and you get money back. What did she pay? She handed the clerk $20. And how much did everything cost? Well, this is how much everything cost. So from her $20, go ahead and subtract how much everything cost, which is the equation for the food. I'm just putting the same thing. Only this time, when we do all this work, it's not going to equal how much the food cost. It's going to equal how much change she gets back. Do you see how you do that? You just put like a letter there for like what you're talking about. That's what a variable is. And this is a fine answer. We're done. We got one more thing to do. Multiple choice. Cool. The Martinez family recycled 37 cans one week and 24 cans the next week. Okay, the Zhang family recycled twice as many cans as the Martinez family. Which equation could be used to find the total number of cans both families recycled? Let M stand for Martinez, B stand for both. Circle the letter of the correct answer. Alright, so let's check all the Martinez family ones. Martinez should be 37 plus 24, right? That's what it says right there. So let's see here. A has M equals 2 times 37 plus 24. But there's nothing for the Martinez family that says 2 times. The Zhang family says twice, but we're not talking about Z is for Zhang. M is for Martinez. So no. This one has 37 plus 24. This one has 37 plus 24. And this one has 37 plus 24. So it could be any of these still. Let's try to figure out which one. Alright, B is for both. And both is tricky, because you have to think about what Martinez family did and what the Zhang family did. Now we know the Martinez family did 37 plus 24, and the Zhang family did 2 times as much as that. So we want to look for an equation that's both, that has 37 plus 24, because that's Martinez. And since we're talking about both, we also have to include the Zhang family, which is 2 times, because they did twice as many and twice as 2 times. So look at all the B's now. Do you have, let's see here. Ooh, this has Martinez family already. It doesn't have 37 plus 24, but it just says M for Martinez, and then it has 2 times. This one has 37 times 2 and an M, and that's just wrong. This one has 2 M's for some reason, and a 2 times also. That's just weird. What, are there 2 Martinez families? No, there's only 1 Martinez family. That one's super wrong. So B is the only one that makes sense. Cassie chose B as the correct answer. How did she get that answer? Well, I think she's right. So she probably got it the same way we got it. She figured out that I should capitalize that, Martinez family equaled 37 plus 24, and then she noticed that the Zhang, I should capitalize that too, the Zhang family was twice that. So you need to find Martinez family. Oh wait, I got this wrong. I just realized something. The answer is not B. And I'm so glad this made me think about it, because we actually did it wrong the first time. The answer is D. I'm a dumb guy. You know why the answer is D? Let me explain it to you. This is the Martinez family, and this is the Zhang family. And you might think, what are you talking about? That's the Zhang family. There's no Z there for Zhang. But remember, the Zhang family is twice as many as the Martinez family. So 2 times M, that's what the Zhang family is. So B is not correct. And what a clever problem for making us think about it right down here in the writing portion. So really, Cassie messed up, and she messed up the same way we messed up. Cassie forgot that the Zhang family is equal to the Martinez family if you multiply Martinez family by 2. So she forgot that just like I forgot that, and that's why she picked B, even though she shouldn't have and we shouldn't have. But we fixed it before it was too late, so it's okay. All right, guys, that's the last bit of work for tonight. I'll see you next time. Bye.